didn't have much feeling about it because, you know, communication in those days was nothing like it is today.
But even if the average American was unaware, there was unrest in the global dynamic. After World War I, Germany was desperately broken and humiliated. As with any angry and poor country, radical politics began to stir, and the Nazi Party took power as Hitler was promoted to Chancellor in 1933.
So that I was vaguely aware, probably the first event that I remember with clarity was Hitler invading Poland.
Then, in 1935, Germany denounced the Treaty of Versailles and started to rebuild their army. Germany began annexing nearby countries, and on September 1st, 1939, Germany invaded Poland. Britain and France jumped to the rescue, declaring war on Germany.
No awareness of that the world was on the brink, was at war and at the brink of a world war.
Meanwhile, in Italy, Mussolini had promised that the Italians would return to the greatness of the Roman Empire. Starting a border dispute with Ethiopia, Italy planned on doing just that. There was a similar conflict going on in Japan. Japan was very dependent on imported resources, and when the Great Depression hit America, it spread to Japan. Emperor Hirohito thought a good way of getting more resources was to get more land. In 1931, Japan occupied Manchuria, a region of China, and by 1937, Japan and China were at war. The Japanese then decided it would be a new order in East Asia, and they would free the Western world, meaning America. In 1940, Japan signed an alliance with Germany and Italy. The U.S. wasn't happy with Japan's actions and placed an embargo on them. In retaliation, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. This is how the U.S. entered World War II.
Then, on December 8th, I went to school, and everyone was talking about the damn Japs attacked us at Pearl Harbor. So the first class was gym. So we all took off our clothes and put them back on again and left our gym suits there and went downtown. We were going to enlist. Well, I had already made prior arrangements to go to the nautical school because I always wanted to be a sailor.
Growing up in Medfield, Massachusetts, Peyton had always planned on entering the Massachusetts Maritime Academy. The war gave him the opportunity to fulfill his dream.
I went in town into Boston and applied for a job at the Warship and Administration. They said, you know, you're in luck. We have a troop transport that just came in. They want a junior third mate.
Peyton was one of the youngest graduates and too young to be called for active duty. He signed aboard the U.S.S. Argentina until he received his active duty orders. Naval officer aboard the U.S.S. Harris.
Like all military things, it was a few days of intense excitement and then a long period of sheer, utter boredom.
Aboard the U.S.S. Harris, Peyton was involved in 5 major battles: the Peleliu Islands Campaign, the Battle of Ulithi Atoll, the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the invasion of the Linguian Gulf, and the Battle of Okinawa.
At Leyte, when a wave of boats would approach the beach in what we called a wave, maybe 8 boats. And I was a wave commander, so we got under fire from a Japanese machine gun. I got a little piece of shrapnel on my knee. They put a Band-Aid over it and said, "You're all right, go along."
The conflicts that Peyton and the U.S.S. Harris were involved in were very important to the overall war. After the U.S. victory at the Battle of Midway, the war was very much in the U.S.'s favor.
Now, if you define a battle as being under attack by an aircraft, that's one thing. Another is an assault landed.
The rest of the Pacific continued to fall in American hands. The Solomon Islands, Guadalcanal, Leyte, Iwo Jima, Okinawa. And on August 6th and August 9th, the U.S. dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, prompting Japan's surrender. The other Axis nations were suffering similar defeats. On June 6, 1944, America invaded Normandy Beach, pushing Germany to the east. Meanwhile, Russians were retaliating against the German invasion, and the German forces were trapped by 1945. Germany surrendered on May 1945, shortly after the suicide of Adolf Hitler. When the Germans surrendered, Mussolini was deposed and Italy surrendered. With the war over, Peyton returned home and after a stint on a coal collier, graduated from Lowell Tech and began working as a mechanical engineer. Today, he lives in Medfield with his wife, Georgia, and their cat. He is very proud of his life's work and is glad to be an American.